What is your initial impression of the room, Watson?
No, it's snug, comfortable, and contrary to my expectation, nicely appointed.
What does this room tell us about Robert Hunt?
Your question is a bit previous, Holmes. I'll have to examine the room more thoroughly before I venture an opinion. Ask me in a bit.
Quite right, Watson. Observe first, deduce later. The smell of Hunt's tobacco pervades the room, Watson. Do you recognize that pungent odor?
A most singular smell indeed, Holmes. It's the same stench we encountered at Lord Brumwell's mansion.
There's only one thing of interest in this room, and that is this book just here. What we need is what is contained in the book itself. So we need to head back to the pawn shop, but before we do that, I'm going to have a word with Hunt. It's not required to complete the game, but I wouldn't forgive myself if we didn't actually speak to him before we finished.
Oi! Stop right there! These premises is restricted. Go back to where you came or there'll be trouble.
We already gave you our permission slip.
What a hideous and tangled web has been woven, Watson.
It boggles the mind, Holmes. Mine is fairly really. What a horrible crime.
Well, Hunt, from what I've heard, you're a right hard case. Deny everything, not guilty. That's your defense, is it? Well, we know different, though, don't we? Want to tell us about it?
Not bloody likely. I'd hardly tell you I haven't told the old Bill.
Where is Anna Carraway?
Never heard the name.
The police can become very belligerent when they don't get what they want. You may do better speaking to me. Again, I ask you, where is Anna Carraway?
Stuff it. You got nothing on me.
Who put you up to this, Hunt? Certainly this is no act of individual malice. You bore those detectives no ill will, did you? Or Miss Carraway? Who paid you for your deranged services?
I'd rather swing at the Queen's expense than grass. I have my reputation to think of.
I believe you have one or more accomplices, Hunt. I will find them and make sure they are charged as accessories to murder.
When the charges against me falls through, that will hardly matter, will it?
Your employer, Lord Brumwell, has just ended his own life, providing all the proof required to establish his part in this tragedy.
And just what does this news have to do with me, Holmes? I've never met the man.
Both the butler and Lady Brumwell can place you at Brumwell Manor. You are finished, Hunt. Give it up. Where is Miss Carraway?
Soon to be in Heaven, Holmes, or the other place. I wish you'd join her. You'll never find her before my little surprise eliminates all evidence of her. There'll be no witnesses against me. You'll have no case.
So now he's just admitted that he knows where she is and who she is.
Where is Anna Caraway?
Never heard the name.
Oh, I guess his memory is very short. Okay. Let's go to the pawn shop.
I would like to redeem an item that you are holding in pawn, please.
The claim ticket, please. Thank you. That'll be 20 quid.
20 quid? That's a lot of money for this time period. Let's see exactly what is worth 20 quid. Oh. And this is a big hint of where we need to go next. And it's a location we've never been to before, although we have been to the general vicinity. I just didn't realise we could actually enter it. I had no idea that this was actually an entryway. But yes, the tarot cards are the big clue that you need to head to the palm readers. And just exactly where is she?
If you'll excuse the expression, Watson, I can't see a bloody thing in here.
Her pupils will soon adjust, Holmes. Be patient.
We're in luck, Watson. Madam is out making a house call, or swilling a large gin, more like.
Your tarot cards would have made interesting reading, Holmes, but let's take advantage of her absence.
My thought precisely. The situation is dire, Watson. I'm prepared to do more than flirt with illegality to save a blameless young woman's life.
I'm very glad to hear it, Holmes, because we are already guilty of breaking and entering.
We're guilty of quite a few things in this game. So yes, we need to explore this room and cut everything short. We need to move this candle. And you will be forgiven for thinking that this key opens the box. No, it doesn't. It opens this drawer here. And we can't give a key to a drawer. So there's a couple of unnecessary extra steps. Because now... No, not use again. Oh, probably helps if we actually pick it up first. And it probably helps if I open it first as well. And this key is used in the box. And the pier is our last stop. And it will be, yes, the last stop in the actual game.
After all this, Watson, I suppose it is possible that we are too late to benefit Miss Cattaway. What a discouraging prospect.
Oh, now is no time to lose heart, Holmes. You've taken us this far. We must proceed. Have the courage of your conviction, man.
You're right, of course, Watson. Let us follow this tortured path to the end. Let us do it at once.
I was going to say, why are you getting so pessimistic right at the end? So, we need to open this door, and we don't use the hammer. We need to use something we picked up very early on. This iron bar. So this is the last action of the game. Enjoy.
I've lit the fuse, Watson. Step sharply or we're in for it.
You get Miss Cattaway. I'll deal with the bomb.
I wouldn't recommend it, Watson. Leave it for the police.
And leave this mess to explode accidentally? I can't do that, Holmes.
You saved my life. I'm sorry your friend didn't...
Watson!
My hat.
I am profoundly sorry.
Oh, nonsense, Holmes. It was my decision to try to defuse the bomb. You can't take responsibility for my folly.
Very generous of you, old friend. What happened?
Well, as must be obvious to the world's greatest detective, I failed to stop the burning fuse from reaching the black powder. Just when I saw how dire my situation had become, I saw a trapdoor in the floor. I jumped inside and saved my life.
And a good thing, too. I would have been seriously displeased had you been injured.
As would I, I'm sure.
Good day, gentlemen. Very good of you to come. Let's speak softly so we don't disturb the boy.
Your spirits appear much improved since last we met, Mr. Farthington.
Your reputation for perspicacity is not undeserved, Mr. Holmes. My profound thanks for your efforts on behalf of Miss Cattaway.
I presume that Dr. Smithson's letter was all you had hoped it would be.
Indeed, Mr. Holmes. As you see, I have already been able to reunite mother and son on the strength of it.
I'm very gratified to hear it. Justice has been served. What has become of Lady Brumwell?
We received word last night that the unhappy woman expired from apoplexy. Perhaps it is for the best.
What are your plans, Miss Carraway, if I may ask?
Of course you may, Mr. Holmes. You and Dr. Watson saved my life, after all. I will continue singing at the opera. Paul will come to live with me on Bunhill Street. We shall try to be very happy. As for Mr. Caruso, we shall have to see.
Very wise, I should say. You know, of course, that your sister's killer has been convicted.
Thanks to you and Dr. Watson, I understand. It is, however, a small consolation. Somehow we were responsible for some mistake.
Nonsense, Miss Carraway. If you'll excuse me for saying so, Blackwood had no idea that the pendant contained the letter he was looking for. He blundered into its theft, and he will pay for his error with his life.
Thank you, Mr. Holmes.
Watson, we should take our leave.
A moment more of your time, gentlemen, if I may. Dr. Watson, I have read your accounts of Mr. Holmes's exploits, and I presume that you have kept a record of this case as well?
I have indeed.
I wonder if I might prevail upon you to withhold, or at least postpone, the publication of your journal for the sake of the boy and his mother?
I will consider it, Mr. Farthington.
Then I will bid you good day.
So, does your account of this mystery come to a satisfactory conclusion, Watson?
As good as could be hoped for, Holmes, considering 3 innocent lives were lost.
Indeed, and more's the pity. But we did unravel a muddle that flummoxed Scotland Yard. We apprehended the 2 vicious criminals, and best of all, we reunited a mother with her son. I would like to have seen Lord Brumwell in the dock, but he has submitted himself to a higher authority. May they all receive their just rewards.
Amen to that, Holmes. I'm glad it's over. This was a most peculiar and troubling case. It was a long time before I realized that all our investigations were related. Sarah's murder, Anna's abduction, and the killing of Frederick Gardner and Moorhead were, in a sense, all the same crime. I suspect that you knew the pendant was the crux of the case much earlier than I.
I think that is a just and a succinct summation, Watson.
Amazing, Holmes. Should I live 100 years, I'm sure I shall never meet your equal.
My thanks, Watson, but don't be too certain. There is a master criminal who thinks he is already more than a match for me. No doubt we shall have to deal with him in time.